Hi guys, I'm back to do another video. Today I am doing a white tea and ginger soap. As before, I'm doing the heat transfer method. I've got all of my hard oils measured out, my lye solution ready, so I'm going to pour it in. Once again, please be careful doing this method that you do not splash the lye water onto yourself. I'm going to set that pitcher aside, grab my spoon, and let's get these oils melted. The fragrance white tea and ginger I'm using today is from Aztec. It is a really mild, but I'm not sure exactly how to describe it. It's just a very pleasant and clean scent. I'm only going to do 2 colors in this soap today. I'm going to keep the base white because of the white tea, and I'm going to do a copper drop swirl to try and accentuate a ginger color. When I get better with doing these videos, I will be able to figure out how to edit them to where I can fast forward and you won't have to watch this whole melting process. But if you watched my previous video I did earlier this morning, you will see that it goes pretty quickly. The only thing I'm waiting for right now is these couple of chunks of my coconut oil to melt. So I'm going to try and break them up gently. Should only take a few more minutes. Coconut oil melts pretty quickly. I use the 76-degree coconut oil, so. And like I said, it should only take a few seconds because my lye solution mixture right now is at 128. Something I didn't mention on my previous video, I add sea salt to help with hardening the bar and a little bit of sugar to help with bubbles into my water before I add my lye. I get it dissolved and then I add the lye mixture into the water. If you hear the dogs, I apologize in advance. Shh. Alright, that coconut oil is dissolved. I'm going to set this spoon aside in my sink. Now I will get my pre-measured soft oils, liquid oils as they're called, I should say. And in my liquid oils I have my kaolin clay, and in this batch of soap I am using buttermilk powder. Once again, scrape as much of that liquid out as you can. It is hard to get 100% of your liquid oils out of your bowl, but try to get as much as you possibly can out of them. Okay. Wipe my hands off And now we can move on to stick blending. Burp your stick blender, get rid of those air bubbles. I have a high percentage of olive oil in this soap, so it does take a few minutes longer to get it to trace. Okay, I'm going to add my fragrance oil, which I have measured out. I have not soaked with this fragrance oil before, so I'm hoping for the best with it. Bubbles. There we go. Normally I test my fragrances before I soak with them, but I had a request for this, and they said that no matter what, whether it's separated, riced, whatever, they wanted the soap, so here I am. So far, it seems to be doing beautifully. I've seen no ricing. I have no acceleration. So she happened to pick a good fragrance for me to work with. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but I am at a very light trace. So I am going to separate off for my copper color. So stick blender aside for the moment. Bring in my second little pot. That is what I'm going to use for my copper, so I'll set it aside for the moment and work on my white. Scrape all my oils back down so that my color will get incorporated thoroughly. Now to my white, I'm going to add a little bit of titanium dioxide. But I am also going to add a white that I have mixed in a carrier oil. And the white I'm using today is called Trophy Wife. So I'm going to put all of that into this batter. This will be my first time using Trophy Wife, and I'm curious to see what it does in my white soap. Let's get those air bubbles out. I am going to add a little bit more titanium because I want it a little bit whiter than that. I'm not going for a pure white base, I am going for a creamy white. I don't know what it is with my titanium dioxide, but I've heard from everyone that it speeds up your trace, but I have never had that issue with it. And just a tiny bit more. Alright, there is our white base. Nice and fluid light trace, just like I like. We'll set that one aside. Now bring in my second cup. And for the copper color today, I am using Copper Digger. Both the Copper Digger and the Trophy Wife are from the Prismatic Pigments. That's pretty much about the only micas that I use anymore. I've had no problem with them, where some from other companies I've had color morphing, color fading, but these ones seem to work best for me. You use whatever ones you like, that is perfectly fine. I am not in any way trying to persuade you to use the brand I use. I'm just stating this is the brand I use and why. I have micas from other companies that I do have, and I will on occasion use them, just depending on the soap I'm going for, the person, if I am making a custom batch of soaps, preference. But for the most part, I stick with these. I'm going to get my little spatula and get the rest out of this cup. Okay. I can tell from what I'm seeing on the screen that the camera is not doing justice to this color. Oops. All right. this cleaned off and get my stick blender out of the road. And then I can start pouring my soap. Sorry about that. This is a very nice color for what I was going for the ginger portion of my soap. Okay, grab my mold. It's right here. I'm going to start off by pouring a hefty amount of white into the mold. About halfway up the mold, I've filled it with the white. Give this a tap. Get those air bubbles out. Now I'm going to drop in my copper swirl. Another little tap. Pour in more of my white. Going to have to find a better camera angle so that you can see what I am doing even better when I'm pouring. A little bit more copper. Alright, I just made a mess. Par for the course with me and soaping. Alright, now to finish off my top, the extra batter once again will be poured into other molds for mine and my family's personal usage. Drop some white on top of that as well. And just a touch more of the copper. Same as yesterday. Should say earlier this morning. And that's it for my white tea and ginger soap. Thank you for watching.